If you're thinking about selling your home here in San Diego, one of the most common questions homeowners ask is this: which improvements should I make before putting my home on the market? I mean, it's a very reasonable question because, most people, they just want to present their home in the very best possible light while also protecting their investment. But here's a reality that often surprises sellers. Not every renovation increases the value of your home. In fact, some improvements that, homeowners would spend tens of thousands of dollars on, they may add very little value when it comes time to sell. Others, however, can make a significant difference in, how buyers are going to perceive your home and also how quickly it sells. I'm Don Pelletier. I'm broker and owner at the Don Pelletier Group. And for more than 4 decades, I've helped San Diego homeowners sell their homes. And one of the conversations that I have very frequently with sellers, before they list their property, is about the preparation. The goal is not to spend money unnecessarily. The goal is to just simply focus on improvements that actually influence buyer behavior and strengthen your market position. So today I want to walk you through just several types of renovations and improvements that, typically are going to provide the very strongest return when you're preparing to sell your home here in San Diego. Along with a few that really, they often don't deliver the value that sellers expect. But let's begin with the improvements that we know consistently have the biggest impact of all. The first area that buyers tend to notice immediately is the kitchen. The kitchen, of course, is often considered, the heart of the home, and buyers pay really close attention to its appearance and functionality. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to, undertake a full, expensive kitchen remodel before selling. In fact, in many cases, just small updates can create a dramatic difference in how the space feels. For example, updating cabinet hardware, installing modern light fixtures, replacing outdated faucets, or just refreshing the countertops can often modernize the kitchen's appearance overall without the cost of, a full renovation. Even something as simple as, refinishing the cabinets or applying a fresh coat of paint can transform the space. Buyers want to feel that the home has been, well cared for and that they won't need to undertake any major projects immediately after they move in. The second area where improvements often deliver really strong results is the bathroom. Bathrooms are another space where buyers quickly assess a home's condition. Similar to kitchens, a full luxury renovation is not at all necessary. However, simple upgrades can significantly improve the home's overall impression. So for example, replacing dated mirrors, updating lighting, installing modern fixtures, or refreshing the tile grout can make a bathroom feel really clean and up to date. New vanities, updated flooring, and improved lighting can also, of course, make the space appear larger and brighter. These changes can be relatively modest in cost, but they have a strong visual impact when buyers, walk through the home. The third improvement that often produces a really strong return is enhancing curb appeal. First impressions matter tremendously in real estate. Buyers form an opinion about a home within seconds of arriving at the property, and that first impression begins before they even step inside. So landscaping, fresh paint on the front door, well-maintained walkways, and attractive outdoor lighting, they can all contribute to a very welcoming entrance. Something as simple as, trimming hedges, planting some seasonal flowers, or pressure washing the driveway, it can immediately improve the property's overall appearance when buyers show up. So when buyers arrive at a home that looks inviting from the outside, they begin their tour with a very positive mindset that emotional response can influence how they're going to view the property as a whole. The next category of improvements that often deliver value involves really just basic cosmetic updates throughout the home. Neutral paint colors, modern lighting, updated flooring can dramatically change how buyers perceive the space. Over time, homes of course naturally reflect the personal style of the people who live in them. But while that style may have suited the homeowners perfectly, it may not resonate at all with potential buyers. So fresh paint and neutral tones help buyers imagine themselves living in the home. Updated lighting fixtures can brighten rooms and create a more contemporary feel. Replacing worn carpet or refinishing hardwood floors can make the entire property feel cleaner and more move-in ready. Buyers today often prefer homes that feel well-maintained and require minimal immediate work after the closing. Now let's talk about a few renovations that sometimes don't deliver the return that homeowners are expecting. One of the most common examples is major luxury remodeling projects undertaken right before selling. A homeowner might invest heavily, in a high-end kitchen, for example, or a spa-style bathroom renovation, expecting, of course, to recover the full cost. So while these improvements may, enhance the property overall, buyers do not always value them at the same level that the seller does. In fact, in some cases, buyers may have even completely different tastes or different plans for the space, meaning the seller may not recoup the full investment. Another renovation that sometimes fails to provide a strong return is highly customized upgrades. Very personal design choices, unusual layouts, or specialty rooms may appeal to a limited number of buyers, but not the broader market. So when preparing a home for sale, it's often way more effective to focus on the improvements that are going to appeal to a much broader audience rather than features that cater to a very specific taste. Finally, large structural additions such as room expansions or major construction projects, they rarely make sense to undertake immediately before selling, unless, of course, they were already part of, say, a long-term plan. These projects can be expensive, time-consuming, and may not add the value that homeowners anticipate by the time they bring the property to the market. Instead, focusing on presentation, cleanliness, and simple updates often produce far better results. The key idea to remember is that preparing your home for sale, it's not about creating the most expensive house in the neighborhood. It's really about presenting the property in a way that's going to give buyers the confidence and allows them to imagine themselves living there. When buyers, walk into a home that feels well cared for, clean, and thoughtfully updated, they're far more comfortable making strong offers. So strategic presentation often shortens the time that a home spends on the market and can lead to a much smoother, more predictable transaction. If you're considering selling your San Diego home sometime soon, and you'd like some guidance on which improvements might help your property stand out, I'd be happy to walk you through those options. Every home is different, of course, and the right preparation strategy really depends on the specific property and, more importantly, the current market conditions. You can call me directly at 858-336-1114 or email me at don@donpelletier.com. We can schedule a private consultation. I'm Don Pelletier with the Don Pelletier Group, where we deliver results that move you. If you found this information helpful, please like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss future videos designed specifically for our San Diego homeowners and sellers. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to helping you take your next steps with confidence.